Hello everybody and welcome. This is the Fever in-house end of Season 1 League of Legends tournament. This is round 1 and facing off today are Team Topline versus Team Screaming Eagles Group 2. Screaming Eagles, they've got a lot of members, so we had to split them up into two groups. Alright, I am Agent of Zion. I will be doing these commentaries. And let's just jump right in with the team comps here. We've got LeBlanc, Tarek, Annie, Jarvan, and Udyr. That's a pretty solid team comp right there. You've got your mage, you got your jungler, you've got some crazy burst out of LeBlanc, and then you've got Jarvan, who can definitely be built as a dedicated tank, and then Tarek, who is a good support, good off tank, and can throw some stun downs, make some stuff happen. Down here in the bottom, we have Singe, Gangplank, Janna, Ashe, and Nidalee. Most interesting here, Gangplank, not a jungler I see very often. I saw him jungled first with the DreamHack streaming, and that was just a blast to watch. And I know that since then he's had a buff, so he should be able to be a lot more effective than even we've seen so far. Alright, we've got the clairvoyances going up. They're trying to see who's picking what's at items. We got some taunting going down here. That's good. Keep it classy, guys. And so we're probably going to see here is definitely some screening action. You want to protect your junglers right off the rip. That's pretty well standard. Loving the Surfer Singe skin. Always have been a favorite of mine. Okay, we got a protective trap down there. Gangplank definitely going to start at blue here. And just some general coverage action. Looking at starting items, we got Doran's Blade, we've got your standard health pots and cloth armor, a regrowth pendant, and a health pot. That's a very interesting choice by Janna. I generally see all the Jannas I play against, they like to start with a mana manipulator. They know they've got more screening action up on that team's blue. And we're going to see a jungle invasion. I guess they want Gangplank to take those wraiths. Or hopefully catch somebody out of position just coming down to go to their lane. Very, very interesting. Minions have spawned. Janna's running around. Wraiths have spawned, so we're going to see those go down. Or not. Actually, that's... I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to call that a mistake. You had 5 people there. You should have picked those wraiths up. I'm not entirely too sure about Udyr's jungling path. But I know that for any jungler to lose out on that 70 some odd gold in their path, that can make a huge difference. What you can see there is making the jungler have to choose between finishing their Madrids or whatever item they're building or buying those boots of speed instead of being able to just pick up both with no problem. Singe versus Jarvan. Jarvan is probably the toughest person to solo lane against. The martial cadence can crank out a lot of damage, and he can really zone you out pretty easily. However, Annie's going to have the same problem against Nidalee here mid. It's, again, it's just incredibly hard to face off against somebody with that amount of sustain. Her heal, her spears, she can put a hurting on Annie without too much trouble. So since Annie, 30 and 17 for resist, that is nothing. The Nidalee will cut through that like butter. More harass going up here. Singe trying to get some poison spurts off onto Jarvan. Looks like he takes a bit there. Trying to get his poison on the creeps to pick up some creep score when he isn't getting zoned out. Nidalee, I guess she landed a spear or two there, maybe got an auto attack or 3 in, pushing Annie way back, keeping Annie away from that farm. That's going to be punishing, absolutely punishing. Without that farm, she's not going to be able to get that creep score, get those important items. And it means all of her abilities are going to be used defensively against Nidalee herself, which means she might run into mana problems here later. LeBlanc and Taric holding it down, but the Janna and Ashe combo is pretty difficult. I say this is a really, really good lane here on this side. Tornado, shield, frost shot. If you get caught out of position, you're going to pay for it. Looks like we might be seeing a lane swap here. Annie coming down. Another lane swap. Nidalee going top. I guess they saw that lane swap. Nidalee did not want to face off against LeBlanc, but I don't really see how going up against Jarvan would be much better. Additionally, even with the extra resist on Singed, without any kind of ranged ability, you'll find yourself zoned out by LeBlanc pretty well. If she can get those combos off once or twice, you'll be in a world of hurt. Coming back down bottom, we've got the Annie stun on the Disintegrate there. Janna running away. Ashe just taking those shots. I cannot believe that these health bars I'm seeing are very accurate. This is one of the limitations of League Replay. Without the spectator mode, I'm really just kind of focused on whatever Nidalee pays attention to. We saw a failed gank from Udyr there. He hit a trap. Great trap placement by Nidalee. However, he will definitely run into those things again. We're seeing Nidalee throw some spears down. She's getting the creep score up. Speaking of which, let's take a look. Oh, don't want to miss the action here. Tried to throw down some action on Nidalee. Got shut down. There's just so much back and forth. She's getting almost every single last hit, and that is vital. Absolutely vital. So now that we have a small lull in the action here, we see Nidalee with 36 creep score, definitely outstripping basically any two of the enemies. See Singed with 32, Gangplank with 19, not too bad for a jungler there. Janna being really careful not to take any last hits away from Ashe. She's got 1 to Ashe's 29. So we're seeing Raw Panda here. I know he's good with Nidalee. This is the first time I've really had a chance to see it in action in anything other than a normal game. So in this competitive setting, he seems to be just really, really putting some pressure on. Jarvan, while good at keeping things held together in the middle of a lane, he has a hard time getting last hits off of... I'm sorry, he has trouble getting last hits underneath his tower. It can be tricky to time those, and that's the only real advantage of getting somebody push up to their tower. It is highly aggressive by Nidalee's part, but she's got Ghost and Flash up. She's relatively certain she can break away from Udyr if he does pop up out of nowhere. The ability to do that, though, will be severely hampered here shortly, because Jarvan, with that ult and the Udyr stun, there's only so much you can flash and run away from. Looks like Udyr, he just missed his blue comeback up, so it looks like he's turning around there. He's going to pick that up. He's going to try to head to top lane to either relieve Jarvan or try to get the gank off on Nidalee. A lot of back and forth down here in the bottom lane. Gangplank going to pick up his blue again, and I would not be surprised to see him go down and try to take out Annie. Taric would be definitely the harder target there, even though he doesn't have his resistances up by much just yet. Annie is naturally a lot squishier, a lot less health, and we might see this go down. Looks like we had a little bit of back and forth there between Udyr and Nidalee. Udyr hits the trap. And Gangplank may not be able to secure this kill here. Annie drops her Tibbers. And I just missed the first blood. You see, the action just isn't where you expect it to be. Rar Panda using everything in her power. She might have to flash away. The flash came too late. It didn't work. Udyr was definitely able to get that off. We're sitting at 1-1 here. And Gangplank is going to go ahead and cover mid lane while Singed is backing and then going to make it back to mid. This right here is the area where Janna and Ashe are really going to shine. The shield on Ashe ups her attack damage, and Janna can get those tornadoes off and flying and really just make life hell for those two under their turret. Incidentally, not seeing a whole lot of activity out of LeBlanc. 17 creep score is way low, especially since you're now in the mid lane. You've really got no excuse. Okay, she hits the chain there, goes off, the stun, a little more damage, but just not going to affect Singed much. He's going to run around. He pushes the lane up. Looks like he's trying to take care of wards, I suppose. Okay. Oh, we're seeing Jarvan and Nidalee go back and forth, back and forth. This, I believe, is going to be one of the most action-filled lane, I believe. Seeing Jarvan try to cope with those Nidalee spears. She's got some AP now. She's got a little bit of magic resistance, which Jarvan doesn't care about. But she's got the boot. She's got more mobility, especially since Jarvan is not building any magic resist at this time. He's got the Philo Stone, which is going to help make up for the fact that he can't get those last hits. But at the same time, he's just leaving himself open to harass. It's almost like he wants to be under his tower. Looks like we have a little bit of time here where Ashe is without her support, which means that Taric and Annie are going to be able to take some lane dominance here. Annie's keeping her stun up. She's keeping it lined up with the Tibbers, which I imagine is up by now. So if somebody gets taken out of position, if they get stunned by Tibbers, Taric can chain the stun, do the shatter, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ashe go out to that. Gangplank sees Udyr coming down. More wards being dropped here. So it helps warn Janna and Ashe that that's coming. They didn't want to do a 1v1 in the middle. Neither one is really confident in their ability to take that on, especially with the two teammates on both teams at close hand. So Gangplank's going to go back to his jungle. We're not seeing him be very aggressive, which is something I was not expecting. I was expecting Gangplank to just be running out every 2 minutes trying to push somebody back. Perhaps he can get away with that, though. The exhaust comes off on Nidalee under the tower. She takes tower aggro, but not too much. And with her heal, she'll come right back. And like I was saying, with the lanes being pushed naturally by Singed, Nidalee, and the Ashe Janna combo, he's not really catching people. So he's got a lot more time to jungle. He's going to take some pot shots off on Taric here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Taric get dived. Yep, here we go. We've got the slow, the frost shot, the parlay, and Ashe picks up the kill there, and that's very good. Keeping that that farm concentrated on your hard AD carry is definitely the name of the game, and it's what you want to be doing. Nidalee going to town up there. Let's take a look at these creep scores. We've got 87 from Nidalee and 81 from Singed. That's pretty ridiculous.